Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome back to Marvel's Midnight Suns. We're getting ready to go out on our mission, but before we do, I'm going to try tweaking the Hunter's deck a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of Wild Strike. This is kind of a high risk, high reward ability because it does really good damage, but you do make yourself vulnerable when you use it, and that is very dangerous. I'm not sure this is going to work for us at this phase of the game, but I'm going to try it.
This makes perfect.
And we'll see how it goes. So let me go ahead and do this, which gives it a huge bump in damage. So let me just show you the deck as it stands right now. I still have 2 copies of Quick Slash, but I had one, I think it's just called Slash, that does a forceful knockback. I'm replacing that with Wild Strike. I also took out Patience. Actually, maybe I have it backwards. Maybe it was just Patience that I removed for this. I don't like Patience. It's an absolute bomb. It does a ton of damage. But see, like, here's the thing. It costs 6, so I can virtually never cast it. Yes, it goes down by 1 each turn, and if I wait forever, you know, I can do something with it. Meanwhile, it's choking my hand. This damn thing does basically 2/3 of the damage, and it generates heroism. Again, there is a price to pay as far as, what am I trying to say? As far as making yourself vulnerable. So there is another thing that I would like to do. And this is even a mission, sort of. Let's go to the forge and look at the upgrades. And we have the armory. This is what we want.
A strong aura surrounds us.
So now we can do challenges. And we are going to. So most of these do revolve around friendship. But there's one that doesn't, and that's what you're looking at, Child of Darkness. So this is for the Hunter himself. And we're going in, baby. All right, let's get cracking here. We're going to start by knocking this guy over here. You don't want to KO him. Next up, we will KO this guy. Just so you know, this is a very odd little puzzle. There are more than one ways you would be able to solve it, except they build in little traps. So if you don't go in the exact order that they want you to go, doing what they want you to do, they'll like take a card away and stuff when you would otherwise have been able to complete it. So that kind of sucks, but that's what they do. It is what it is. And just like that, we've got it. FYI, I do have a guide for this challenge on the channel, so if you ever need to do it yourself, it lasts all of like 3 minutes maybe, that video, so it's just a very quick little thing to help you go through these steps in the right order. How are you doing, Ray? This is a biggie, actually. We can really use that. Once per encounter, redraw a heroic card to regain concealed. You know, I have to admit, I was thinking we got a different passive than that. I'll have to do a little research because there's a passive related to collars that I want very much. And maybe I have, well, there's no maybe to it. Clearly, I got confused. Oh, hold on. Charlie's here.
Good girl, Charlie.
And was thinking that this was the challenge that unlocked it when that wasn't the case. So having acquired this, this is a tough one. This is quite good, and I hate to lose it. This does more damage because you get the forceful knockback. And also it covers a bigger area, if I remember correctly. This card has been extremely helpful to me. It isn't necessarily an end game card, but it is very good. I'll pull it for right now and we'll put Bladestorm in. So with this and Wild Strike in my deck, I feel like that's a pretty big bump into my potential damage output. And I think we're ready to go. I know that was a lot longer preamble than we usually have for our missions, but hopefully well worth the time. So we are going to go on this mission with Nico. And we will also bring Iron Man. There's one epic card in particular that I really want to get for him. If we have to, we can make it in the Forge. That's very expensive for where we are right now in the game. Hoping we get it this way.
With all of the artifacts and equipment Hydra has been absconding with, it was inevitable we'd catch them unloading equipment somewhere.
Well, we all got resist. That's phenomenal.
Seems easy enough.
Okay, well this kind of sucks. But I can do this, so at least we'll get some value out of the knockback. So that's 2 birds with 1 stone, and we didn't even lose a card play, which is pretty phenomenal. Now the question is, see, it's not quite lethal. So I have spoken before about how card modifications are a huge boost to your power. For example, what I would go for on Quick Strike is one that gives you Strengthen on a KO. If I had Strengthen right now, Wild Strike would kill any of these guys that are holding a card. 1 shot, done. So it's quite good. There's no question about that. However, I don't have it. So there's no point pissing and moaning about it. My bigger issue is I don't have a lot of attacks other than these heroic ones. I am going to go ahead and do this.
Your time has come.
I need heroism, but if I absolutely have to, I'll use this doggone thing to finish him off. He's the only one who's going to attack the hunter this turn. And so as long as I KO him, the being vulnerable really doesn't matter. However, right now, I can give counter to somebody, which is all well and good. But I think what I would rather do is prep Iron Man. We're just going to use air superiority. It'll kill him and it'll soften a bunch of these guys up. Sadly, I don't think it's going to kill anybody. Maybe if I make somebody vulnerable, which I will do. I wish I could have spared a redraw to make that card better.
I see the target.
But I didn't, so it is what it is.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
I still think it makes... See, I could at least kill one of them. So I could actually kill 2 if I did this. Including the guy who's marked, so this becomes free. The downside is that air superiority would hit everybody. But it won't KO. It'll only KO this guy at death's door. You know, this is going to sound weird. I actually would rather have this. I would. Taking 2 of them out and getting my action back.
I had hopes for a challenge.
I'm going to take it. I was hoping he'd fall. That would have been really good for us. Okay, so we got 2 of the key cards, which is pretty phenomenal. And since we do have 2, we got 2 ways to go here. I could have Nico give counter to herself, and we could start doing damage to these guys. The problem is keeping these in my hand means I get 2 less cards we can actually play next turn, which I'm not super enthused about, because if nothing else, well, this would give me 2. You know what? Screw it. I'll go ahead and do it. I'll play 1. It'll get us closer to the end of the mission, if nothing else.
You've secured one of the crates.
Or at least the part where reinforcements come. Okay, I'm not going to use any heroism because we definitely want to try to use air superiority here. That's so good. That's right, and she has 1 resist too. So at least the first one won't do anything. It won't do any damage, and she's only going to take 1 damage attack. So I think we're good here.
No retreat.
She's slowed, and she's vulnerable, but no damage. That's the best. Not the part about being slowed and vulnerable, but the rest, the no damage part. All right.
I can feel her.
They've armed one of the crates. It's going to explode.
Of course they arm the one I don't have. Whatever. Okay, who's got the yellow? This guy, who's very, very close to being down. I think I really like this here. We get to cast both of these with the rest of our turn. What's not to like? Oh, doggone them. They're going to cheat me. Because that stupid, I have to use one of my plays to get the yellow. Oh, and I draw this too. Whatever, it is what it is. I have to do it. I mean, that's too strong. You don't get huge rewards from the second and third chest like you do the first one you open. But the thing is, we're in a position where we need all the things. But that would have been a really sweet turn if I could have played the heroics one after the other. See, like, we need this. I used my last common blueprint to make Wild Strike for the Hunter. But yeah, it hurts me. I wish I could have, done something with these. I mean, this would be almost lethal on him. Would have been lethal on that guy. It is what it is. Do we want to do redraw here? Not really. I could get rid of this. I'm not sure if that was smart though, because it does... here, let me do this. There we go. Now we beefed it up. Okay. Let's end the turn.
You're gonna have to try harder than that.
I do need heroism, sadly. I hate that guy so
We got
much.
someone down over here. Another round of warm bodies coming in.
You know what to do.
I should have focused on him more. I was worried about getting the one card. The yellow, key.
I still don't like your chances.
Another of the crates
That
is
may have
armed
been
to
foolish.
detonate. Get to that key card.
All right, so that gets me away from, explodey Bomberson over there.
That was the last crate. Wipe out the remaining Hydra forces.
So these two are
Let's get you
dead.
home.
I think we want this.
Don't mind if I do.
So I can't do this without Nico, which really sucks. What about this? Does this make any sense? I mean, I could KO a bunch of guys, but not him. Granted, this turn, he will probably just make someone vulnerable. So doing 146 to everybody is not bad. These two are going to die anyway, but, it's a lot for these guys. So let's just do it.
Shouldn't have pissed me off.
Yeah, we KO'd 2 of the 4 elites that are still on the map. So that's not bad. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way to take out the rest. I could do something like this. Yeah, even though I want to preserve my heroism,
Here we go.
I'm going to do this. I'm pretty sure this guy is just going to make somebody vulnerable, which at this phase, when there's nobody left on the map to take advantage of it, not necessarily that big of a deal. Okay, well, I was wrong. I lost my hand, but I kind of don't care. Oh, I didn't lose it all. I just lost
upper hand for now.
one card or something. Let's make him vulnerable.
That'll work.
The target is clear.
You know what I really need is like a ton of heroism. I guess I just need one more. But the problem I have is if I use it on him, he'll probably duck out. Hey, I have an idea. I think this is a good one. Yeah, this is totally worth trying.
I'm saving my energy.
That's what I thought. He was low enough on health. It made sense. There's more than one way to get there. So Wild Strike, I only do it once, but it really kicked the crap out of that guy. Not quite lethal damage, but a lot more useful than, any other card I would have drawn. Or the card it replaced, I guess. And I didn't pay any consequences this time for being vulnerable. Also, the other new edition worked very well. So I'm very happy about that. It doesn't look like there's any hangouts or anything, so I think we can just go to bed. I am going to have to make up my mind, though, about whether I want to break down and buy that card for Iron Man or not. I don't really want to be honest. Well, let's see what Robbie wants.
Have you noticed any ramps around here? Maybe a ramp-like slab of mostly level stone, kind of at an angle?
For what?
I want to jump the hell right over the Abbey.
Why?
I see your why, and raise you a why not.
I cannot argue with that.
That's what I like about you, Hunter. You're a modern-day philosopher. But seriously, don't tell Caretaker.
That would probably be best. Let's see what we get when we open the coil.
How's it going, boss?
I always feel a little bit like I'm stepping up to one of those carnival games, you know, step right up and spin the wheel. And it's total luck what you're going to get.
It's sometimes I even impress myself.
Witch Storm, taking that one. This is a great card, but I already have 2 upgraded copies, so... This is a really interesting dark card, actually, and the fact that it has lifesteal is really cool. As I said, we're going to take this. It's actually a decent ability. She doesn't have it. Not any copies at all. The only reason to take this is for salvaging, which is not a bad reason to take it, by the way. I'm going to take this simply because I don't have it, and I would like to collect one of each card for the Hunter on this playthrough if I can. It's not a strategic thing, it's just a thing I would like to do. Let me remind myself. So Leave It to Me, if I remember correctly, is the card that I want for him. It's not as expensive as I feared. I'm going to go ahead and do this.
I look forward to
I have to be very judicious. Partly, that was the only epic I can make.
If you find more coil, send it my way.
And hang on a second. Unfortunately, it's not going to be an upgraded copy. So I really need 2 of them. This is why I didn't want to approach things that way. Because I don't even have a second blueprint. So we are not going to gain the 2 fast, and we're not going to gain the, the extra heroism that this one generates is from the mod. Okay. I can live with it, but this is his deck. Once we upgrade this, and then we have to do the mods and stuff. But this is actually the deck I want for him for the entire rest of the game. No one else is at that phase, so at least that's one.
Hey, can I ask a favor?
Oh, crit chance. Oh, crit chance. You know what? I'm not really worried about crit chance. I will go for this.
Thanks, Hunter.
Crit damage is everything to me, but crit chance, a little later on, we will have essentially guaranteed crits every turn. At least I think it's a little later on. The thing that I thought was going to help me unlock that was the suit we got in that challenge, and it didn't, so maybe it won't. Okay, so whoever gets this will... we're going to get an epic blueprint to replace the one we just used. But anyway, we're going to give somebody plus 10 strength, so they'll do better knockback. Okay, well, I mean, you know, all these guys use knockback. These guys, at least, not so much. I mean, she's knocking them into a portal. It doesn't need distance. It's automatically going into the portal. Most of the time, she does knockback. So who do we want to do? I think I'm actually going to give it to him because Winds of Tomb is about the only kind of semi-normal attack you give him, and it's all about knockback. That's really the only way it does damage is if you knock them into something.
Nice to get some fresh air, Harley. Let's do this.
Yeah, I don't think so. Also don't think so. Oh, hold on. What does this get? More damage. It's not a bad card, but it doesn't have quick and it doesn't have knockback. And so that's what makes it kind of weak. And it does way less damage than Wild Strike. Yeah, I don't really care about that.
I think we've got something for everyone.
Okay.
Ready for more? Sometimes you just need to spice things up. Try something different.
That's what we're going to do. Okay, this is pretty good. When you, this isn't ultimately what I want because I would want quick on here. But at this phase, when I don't have the money to hardly do any of these, this is pretty darn good because it's making me vulnerable, but resist means I won't take any damage from that first shot. So that'll help mitigate it in the short term. I only have 68 credits, so I can't really go through and put a whole lot of these on here. Okay, we probably need to gather the gifts. Wolverine will like this, but we don't have Wolverine yet. So I will pass. Let me think. Is there anything here that we need? I don't think so. I don't have the money for upgrades.
Thanks, Hunter.
So I think we're ready to pick our next mission. And let me see. We can go for an intel cache. We can go for more essences. So you see, we can't get any credits unless we do the story mission. I'm fine going for more essences because we need them. And then hopefully when this mission's done, we can actually do one for credits. And I think that's fine. And if I need to, I'll go get another blueprint as well. But at least, you know, I do feel like we made some real progress on his deck. I would also say, you know, the fact that we've got his pretty close to where it needs to be other than upgrading this one copy. Got a ton of mods we need to do and all that. And they ramp up the power level so dramatically. Let me do this. I almost forgot to add Witchstorm. So I will get rid of one copy of Swarm. And we'll put this in. And maybe what I should do is go upgrade Swarm for her. Upgraded copies, almost always better to have. I can spare the 40 heroic. I think that's fine. And what it does is it adds that final, like you can do up to 216 damage now instead of a max of 180. I think, you know what the most important part of that though is? Right now, you have a 1 in, or prior, we had a 1 in 3 chance of any of these, including the 72. Well, now you only have a 1 in 4 chance of the 72. And then, you know, these are the other 3 slots. That's actually pretty significant because the leap between the bottom 2 was huge, right? Whereas from there, it's very incremental. So the fact that you now have a 3/4 chance of getting really significant damage compared to 2/3, that's meaningful. I never really thought about it until just now.
Peace.
All right, I think we have done all we can do today. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Thanks for watching. When we come back, we will take care of business on that next mission. But am I going to repeat the sign off? I forgot where I was. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you next time.